Hi guys, Every Knife Guy here with a brief overview of the Small Tinker by Victorinox. And if you watched the video recently where I picked up a whole bunch of used SAKs for quite cheap on eBay, this was one of the models. It was pretty beat up and scratched, and the scales were pretty much ruined. This was the one, if you remember, that had the peace sign carved into the scales. And yeah, I actually threw those out. I meant to keep them to show you on this video, but I threw them out, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But yeah, this one was in a pretty bad way. I haven't done anything to it, as you can probably see the condition of the blade here. I haven't done anything to it other than replace the scales with these nylon ones from Swiss Bianco. But I just thought we'd take a quick overview of it and compare it to a couple of others. This is a small Tinker, which is an 84mm model. The large Tinker, of course, is a 91mm. And if my memory serves me right, the large Tinker is basically a Spartan, except for this tool, which is the 3D Phillips, which differs from Spartan in that Spartan has a corkscrew where that is. If I've got that wrong, I do apologise. Let me know, guys. But I think that's the situation. And yeah, so it's just my thoughts are why this knife. I don't really know. I don't know if this is a model that I would particularly pick up or choose to carry. It came as part of that lot. That's why I have it. And I thought we'd take a quick look at it in comparison to a couple of other SAKs that I have here that I think kind of outclass it. So yeah, let's just quick look at what it is. It is a two-layer knife, of course, and being 84mm, it is quite a short profile. What else do I have lying around here? I have a classic here, as you can see, if I put that way around. So the classic, which if you've handled one of those, you know is pretty dinky. It's not a huge amount longer. I mean, yeah, obviously I know the on paper statistics, but just looking at it, I mean, it's not a massive amount bigger in terms of the overall knife for what you get. Obviously much more sturdy and usable tools than on a classic. It is quite a lot smaller than this Alox Farmer. So just to give you an idea of the size and scale of the knife, it's not a huge amount thinner due to the thickness of the nylon scales, but it is not a big knife by any means. It's definitely not heavy, and it has all the usual stuff. It has a large penknife blade, small penknife blade. It has the cap lifter, large flathead wire crimper. It has the can opener there, and a small flathead. On the back we have the reamer or awl, depending on what you want to call it, and the 3D fillets, which I think is kind of the saving grace of this model. I really do like that. I've mentioned before, not only is it a great kind of very torquey screwdriver, but it's also a great little self-defense tool if you're into that sort of thing. And on this size, I mean, it almost looks out of proportion to the length of the knife, but pretty nice to have that sort of fully functioned or fully fledged, if you will, Phillips driver on something this size. So those are the overall tools. Scale tools, of course, the usual toothpick and tweezers. So yeah, not a bad two-layer, but for example, does it beat something like the compact, which is one of my favorites? Where it does win, of course, is it has the Phillips as opposed to the corkscrew. I do drink wine, but these days a lot of wine, even the better stuff, is screw cap, as you will know if you partake. And so it's not something I use a whole lot, less than I ever used to. And I would definitely rather have the 3D Phillips than the corkscrew. It does have the hook on here, which I probably prefer the reamer awl type piercing tool on here. Same scale tools, but of course this has the addition of the pen. So that's a big bonus for the compact. And this, of course, still two-layer tool, same thickness, a little heavier due to scales and the type of tools on here. And in terms of what we have for the main layer tools, this is where I think the compact is a long way ahead. We have the large blade, but we replaced the small blade here with the combination tool, which of course is combination counter, cap lifter, wire bender, flathead, the whole deal. And I just love that tool. I wish that was on more Victorinox. I think a lot of people do. It's just, you know, the can opener is nice and all, but it is kind of redundant in everyday life. I mean, how often do we actually use it? I use the small flathead in the end of it quite a lot, but I don't use the can opener itself. So to have the combination tool, I think really makes so much sense. And of course, ta-da, the big difference, scissors. Now, of any Victorinox non-Alox model, these are one of the most used things for me. I think they're a huge bonus. So I would definitely, the compact is a 91mm model. For me, the compact wins hands down. Pen and scissors over size and weight, definitely. This would be in my pocket rather than this. So there's one example. Another one would be the climber. Now this is heavier still. We're going up to 3 layers, so you can see it is taking up a bit more pocket real estate. Let's see what we have in the climber. We go back to having the independent cap lifter and can opener, which is not totally efficient in my mind, but we do get the large blade and the small blade, so you do have 2 options there for cutting, which is quite nice. And of course we have the scissors, so there's that. And we go back to the corkscrew in the back, which is not my favorite, as I mentioned, but we do get both the hook. Oops, I'm going to close these tools here before I do myself an injury. Oops, there we go. Yeah, so on the back we do get the hook of the compact, if I can get a hold of it here, hook of the compact, and also the reamer all of the small tinker. And this one has the sewing eye needle, which is quite good for making leather repairs and such like. So a little bit of best of both worlds on the back here, but you still don't have the 3D Phillips. So the climber doesn't necessarily beat this out in my mind, just due to the weight and size. The scissors are a big thing for me. I got to be honest, but I might be tempted to carry this for size and weight. But in terms of this versus compact, I think the compact wins hands down, and yeah, certainly would win hands down for me over the full size tinker, which of course is on the same 91mm chassis as this compact. So there you go, guys. Just a quick look at I got a bit sidetracked there with the comparisons. Quick look at the small tinker, 84mm tinker. Let's open up the tools again here. And yeah, definitely not a bad little knife. Now that I've changed the scales, I will sharpen up the tools and it will become part of my collection. Probably go in a bag or a backpack or something and get some use. So thanks for watching, guys. That's all for now, and back with more videos soon. Have a great day. Cheers.